You and your father also have something in common, which is your celiac.
Yeah.
What is that for people that are not aware of what I just said?
You're not happy. No, I'm just joking.
Recorded live from Studio 12A in sunny Phoenix, Arizona. You're listening to the Josh and Friends Podcast.
Thank you for tuning in to the Josh and Friends Podcast. I am your host. My name is Josh. And this week, the show welcomes a brand new guest to the program. I first met him as a newborn baby about 20 years ago. As the son of Ethan and Sarah, he grew up right in front of my eyes on social media. And I followed it all from him playing high school sports to going on vacations with the family and growing up to the adult he is today, attending college at Oregon State University. But this weekend is the first time meeting him in person since that one day Ethan first introduced me to him all those years ago. So I told him we have some catching up to do, and I thought I'd share it with everyone here on the air. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the podcast, he's the one and only Mr. Ryker McDonald. All right, Ryker, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good. I'm excited to be here.
It's good to have you. It's good to have you. I've heard so much about the famous Ryker.
And likewise with Ethan McDonald's accounts at Josh Matlock. And so it's two legends crossing over.
Yeah, you're he's forcing you to like listen to this podcast years ago, and here you are. You're finally part of the pod.
It's a dream come true.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you here, man. Like,
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So you are Ethan McDonald's and Sarah's child.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not a child anymore, but it's funny. The last time I actually met you, you were legit like a baby. Now, how old are you now?
I'm 21. About to be 22.
So I was holding your head, and Ethan goes, you want to hold him? And I go, I guess. So I was holding your head, and he goes, hey, he's a big noggin. He said noggin. Big noggin. So and that's all. That's it. That was it. I was like, all right. And then from then on, I was just like watching you grow up on Facebook, and it was interesting. I've never seen any one of my friends really like, and your parents, is it mostly Ethan that shares? Is the share guy? Okay.
Yeah.
He was the guy that, made sure that every single part of your life was documented.
Documented the good and the bad.
Yeah.
There's a lot out there of me that I don't know if I've ever approved of being out there, but it's out there for the world to see.
Yeah.
So.
My favorite are like when your mom's just like walking and she's like, oh, I didn't know you were recording. Okay. She's like, so I guess I'll smile because I know it's going to be posted.
One of my favorite things is people think that my mom usually would be the one to post on social media. So my dad will post pictures of my mom being like, look at this beautiful, stunning lady. And my mom gets worried that people think it's her posting about herself. But
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So were you born in Hermiston?
I was born in Richland, Washington. But,
okay.
Grown up in Hermiston for the 18 years before I went off to college.
So you're like, how close to, that's near Hanford? Is that near?
Yeah, it's about 30.
So you're like a nuclear baby. You're like,
oh man.
Probably
where the diabetes and the celiac comes from.
God. So now for people that aren't aware, because you are in Hermiston, how long have you guys been in Hermiston?
My entire life. I think my parents bought their house in the early 2000s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So they're there. The house was there 2 years before I was. And then from 2004 to 2022, I was growing up. And,
okay. Yeah. So for people that aren't aware, where is Hermiston, Oregon?
Hermiston, Oregon is about 3 hours directly east of Portland, Oregon. Not known for much besides watermelon. Okay. The only thing that's getting grown out there, the only sort of,
Interesting. Did you eat a lot of watermelon growing up?
Oh yeah, because that's about the only thing you're known for. And if you got to be proud about it when somebody asks you what's Hermiston, where is Hermiston? Everybody knows Pendleton, Oregon, because of the Roundup. But Hermiston, Oregon, 30 minutes, and I mean it's grown tremendously since I've been there as a little guy. But not much going on out there. You had to make your own fun. So
gotcha. Okay, so now you went to. You grew up your whole life there, so you went to junior high and is it middle school now?
We had middle school, so from 6th to 8th grade, and then 4 years of high school. really know everybody by the time that you finish up 18 years in Hermiston.
Now, you played, what sports did you play?
Did football since 7th grade all the way through the end of high school. Did basketball from the time I could dribble a ball till my sophomore year of high school. And then I finished out high school doing track as well. Did 1 year of soccer as well, but seasons intermixed and I chose to do
What would you say your best sport is?
Definitely track towards the end. And of course, it was the one I gave the least amount of effort
to.
Of
course.
I don't know where the genetics came from, but I went out there, funny enough, to go throw and have a good time and look at athletic women on the track field.
Right, sure,
and then, they made me run 100-meter one time, and I remember being pissed at my coach because I'm like, I came out here to throw and sit down, and ran the 100-meter fast enough, and they were like, you need to start doing this.
Wow.
Every single week. And then I started doing it. And so I went from doing 3 throwing events to 1 and doing 3 sprinting events. And
your mom is a runner, right?
Yeah. Because she was decathlete at Central Washington.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. It always makes me laugh thinking back to, because I see my parents now. And, they're still athletic people, but thinking about even the few times I'll be slapboxing my dad or messing around with him. He's got the quickest hands I have ever seen in my life. And it just makes me laugh. It almost makes me giggle. Like, you guys used to be so athletic.
Yeah. Dude, Ethan was no joke too, man. That guy, he was the real deal back in the day.
Oh yeah.
He was a big dude. And it's like, we always talk about this. We're like, if he'd be telling a story and you're like, uh-oh. If he's telling the story, you're like, you don't want to be next to Ethan because he's like, who's the closest guy next to me? I'm going to grab him. And you're like, and he was like 6'4", like, 240 back in the day or whatever he was. And it was like, oh, geez. And then you really didn't want to piss him off because he had a bad temper back in the day. He is so much nicer now than he was.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-Sarah.
Thank the Lord. Yeah.
And he still gets, in high school and college, you could tell you're like, I think Ethan's getting hungry, man. He's like starting to get short and pissed off. Like, oh shit.
Starting to put his hands on people.
Oh shit. Oh God. All right. So you were best at track, which is awesome. But what did you play in sports? Like, what did you play in football?
In football, I was kind of an H-back. So between a slot and a tight end, and played defensive end as well. Yeah. In Hermiston, you're not finding a 6'5", 245 person to play on the D line. So it's more, being fast. Can you get off the edge playing D end? And same with the blocking. Can you block well enough, but can you run a route?
Right.
You're not picking from future NFL talent in Hermiston, Oregon. So.
Now, have there been like any NFL guys or anything like that? Any pro athletes?
One guy named Drew Sanders, but he had transferred to Texas as soon as he started high school, as his dad moved out there. And Texas football is religion out there. So a lot more getting noticed by college programs. He actually went to the University of Alabama. Transferred to Arkansas. Now he plays for the Denver Broncos.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Other than that, that's about the one claim to fame. Jared Zabransky, if you remember the famous bowl game where they did the Statue of Liberty on the set 2-point conversion.
Gotcha. Wow.
He was a Hermiston.
That's pretty
native.
Awesome. That's pretty. Now, so after you graduated, now how did you decide to go to Oregon State currently?
Yeah, Oregon State.
All right. So how did that come about?
Well, I was thinking about doing sports for a little while, maybe going to a smaller college and doing track. And
you didn't want to follow in the footsteps of the folks?
No,
at Central?
No. So I remember going to nationals. I was lucky enough to be invited to nationals for the 100-meter sprint. And I was in the silver division of the 100-meter sprint. And I finished up my race and I did all right. I had COVID at the time, so I was kind of recovering at that. But I remember sitting around and watching. They went the gold division and then the platinum division. And in the platinum division, they bring out the final, the fastest heat, and they introduce every sprinter individually, and they all look like sprinters. And then I remember for the fastest guy in that heat, they were like 6'3", 235 pounds from Duncanville, Texas, committed to the University of Michigan to play middle linebacker. And I watched this guy run a 10-2 and I go, no, sports is not for me in college.
It's different.
I'm going to go enjoy.
It's crazy. People don't realize how, we always used to talk about that, like, college is the best of high school and pro is the best of college. And there is massive, massive leaps when you're talking about these different levels. It's crazy.
And so it was just one of those things where I wanted to go have a great experience, go to a big college, go watch fun, exciting football games.
Right. Because I knew so many people, even at Central, like that were in really small towns, like Zilla and all these like little tiny towns. And they got to Central, and Central's, it's not big, but it's still like bigger than where they came from, and it's away from the family and stuff like that. And that probably, but I'm sure that played into it because you're a little bit away from home, but
it was that
far enough from home, but close enough to home.
Close enough to home where if I needed to go home, it was that kind of perfect. I mean, I grew up being a Peeves fan my entire life. Knew I wanted to be an engineer, and they've got the best engineering program in Oregon.
Oh wow, okay,
yeah. And then as well as that,
how did you know that you want to become an engineer?
My cousin Anders, when he was younger, had a telescope, and I remember looking through his telescope when he was taking pictures. He attached one of his old cameras to it, was taking pictures of the moon. I got to a point where I was like, I want to get into astronautics. I want to do aerospace engineering.
Interesting.
And it's one of those things now, and I've kind of gone through education where you go, the market's not necessarily there yet, but it will be there one day. So to say I have the specialization to do it and be able to make that kind of transition into that field when there seems to be a better market for wanting to go to space.
That's awesome.
It'll be an exciting time in my life. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, all the engineers that I knew, that they're a lot smarter than me. So I take it you have some brains.
Trust me, I am not even that in the smartest realm. There are people that blow my mind. I'm pretty good at bullshitting is what I can appear smart. And then
I saw you do a speech one time that Ethan posted somewhere. I don't know what the heck it was. And I was like, damn, dude, this guy's got some, and you're in like high school. I was like, were you like one of the presidents or vice president?
Yeah, so I was president.
Here we go.
My high school ASB.
I was president. I was prom king. Were you prom king too?
Homecoming.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're just like the old. Well, okay. Ethan was like not like the most popular guy, but Ethan was definitely he was able to be in every single group, kind of like. Mm-hmm. I wasn't. I was more like the middle and then the lower, the other guys. Mm-hmm. But Ethan he could fit in with every single buddy, which was amazing.
That surprises me. I'm surprised he didn't piss off enough people to get, but yeah.
Maybe people were scared. I don't know.
That could be true. He does kind of got the gift of the gab. I can see him pull a conversation out with anybody and for no particular
Well, and it's funny because he didn't have that. Initially, when I first met him, he was just the mean guy that everybody would follow behind, in the halls. Yeah. But then he became that. I think Bob Jones helped with that.
No, 100%.
Yeah, he became. Did you ever meet Bob?
Unfortunately, really? I don't remember. Maybe I met him as a young.
Probably like me. He's like, you want to hold the baby? Like
exactly. And that was one of those things when I meet people my parents knew and they held me as a baby and they go, "Do you not remember me?" No, I was a 2-year-old. I was, my brain.
I wouldn't dare ask that question. I wouldn't dare ask that.
But no, Bob, I know. I mean, my dad speaks so highly of Bob, kind of getting him out of the hole and building him as a man. I have a lot to thank Bob for too, as well, because I'm sure all those lessons are things that he carried into raising me as a young man. So
it is crazy how a lot of coaches are like father figures to so many kids. Oh, yeah. It's like it's wild, and you see that in just all over the country. It's like, man, there needs to be more like coaches. I mean, there's tons of coaches, but I'm just saying, like, coaches like that.
And and I see the appeal of it. I remember always hearing as a young kid, or do you want to be a transformational coach or a transactional coach? I mean, do you want to win games or do you want to make a change in young lives, men? Especially when you're in high school, your focus should be, building a young man to be a better person, to take care of the things that
so many people come from shitty households, and not saying that Ethan's was, but he said it many times. Yeah. So, it's just, Bob was so like, he's just so inspirational. Like I told Ethan, I hate this story, but I was like, it's true. There's this one story where I didn't suit up because a lot when I was a junior. Because our team was stacked. First off, it was like we had like 100 guys on our team. Gosh. And then they would just pick the top guys, and we were playing this team Kentwood. It was like our rival, and we were down. I can't remember the score. We were down like, I don't know what it was, and Bob gave this speech which was insane. And I go, Ethan, that was one of the best speeches I've ever heard. And he goes, yeah, I was suspended for that game. And I was like, oh my God, no. It was like painful to me. And I was like, that was like, it was one of those speeches that you see like on a, in a movie. Yeah. Right. And that was Bob. And I was watching it going, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. I'm like looking around. I'm like
through a wall.
It was like, I was looking for cameras. I was like, please God, does someone have like one of those old shitty camcorders that's like filming this? Cause this is amazing. I don't think it was recorded, but it should have been. It was amazing. Yeah. And then we came back and we won. That's like, that's kind of stuff right there. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. So you did not choose to go to Central, but I do want to say this is kind of, I say this quite a bit, but I feel like I'm kind of responsible for you being here right now. Kind of responsible for you being right here because I lived in the same dorm as your mom.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Your father, Ethan, I was like, Ethan, you got to come over, man. You got to come visit. He's like, all right. So he comes over and I go, my dorm was known as the hot dorm.
Yeah.
It really was. It was just ridiculous, and we were the furthest dorm out, like, from all the other dorms. Mm-hmm. And we're at this little place where you can get like food. It wasn't like a big mess hall. It was like a little kind of like a little store where you can go in, get like a slice of pizza or something like that, And I go, oh shit, see that girl over there? He goes, oh yeah. What do you think I'm fucking blind? And I go, that's the girl we call Angel Face. And that was your mom. And it was like, don't get caught looking. Don't look at that chick. I think she's dating one of the football players.
Yeah.
Anyway, so side note here, because, she was a very good looking woman. She still is. But, growing up, did any of your friends ever say like, hey man, your mom's hot, man. Your mom's hot.
We have this thing in my fraternity. We do awards at the end of every year. So this is, beyond just high school years, middle school. As soon as anybody hit puberty, I started hearing things that made me see red.
Yeah.
But we have this thing in our fraternity at the end of the year. You get awards. And for 3 years in a row, I have won the Hottest Mother Award. And 3 years in a row, I'm seeing red. I'm looking for somebody to punch and lay into. So I've become so desensitized.
Well, hey, the reason I asked that is because me and you, we're in the same boat, buddy. I used to get that from all my friends too. And you know what? The two guys that did that the most were my buddy Ryan Dunham and your father, Ethan McDonald. He's like, your mom's kind of hot. Your mom's kind of hot. And I'm like, all right, man. All right. So I know how you feel, buddy.
So he's the fucking karma that's come back onto me now.
Exactly.
That asshole.
Yeah. So there you go. No, but, so going back to Central. So basically Ethan, after, visiting a couple times, he's like, I think I need to move out here. I think I'm, this is my right direction. So, I didn't introduce them.
Yeah.
But, I did point her out and, I think they met at a party or something like that. I don't know where they
did.
But yeah.
It took a lot of alcohol for him to speak to my mother.
Yeah.
So I remember the story of them talking about their first date, and my mom thought that he had something wrong with him because he couldn't speak a word of English. He was sitting there fumbling his words, hello. But anytime he drank, he was able to get out a few words. So
alcohol is a very good thing to happen to us.
Confidence, but that's interesting.
Yeah. So, but I one of the things that, was funny is like because you just said that. I think your mom thought I was like a complete jerk when I first met her too. When I first officially met her, because like I was friends with Suzanne, Suzanne Marsh.
I've heard a lot of stories.
Yeah, and Suzanne Marsh was like, hey, and I was like, hey, and she's like, hey, we're sitting in the back, and I was like, oh, okay, we're like sitting in there, and I was like, I'm not gonna talk to this hot blonde chick at all. I don't. When a girl has a boyfriend, first off, I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that. Like, and especially if I hear football player, I'm like, I don't want to get my ass kicked. So how about that? I'm not fucking Ethan McDonald over here, right? I'm not this 6'4", 250. I don't know how big he was, but I'm not that guy. So I'm not gonna, step on any toes out here. So, but anyway, so I just thought that I always think that's kind of funny that I was like, I got Ethan out there, and he was he's visiting at my dorm, and there was a couple of girls that I'd point out, and she was definitely the one that was like the angel face, we always called her. So
sold them well. Thank you.
Yep.
I feel like I owe you a beer now.
I will take that. Yeah. I will take it. No. So, so do you know why your parents like chose Hermiston to live? Is that where your grandparents live, or?
My Uncle Brant moved out there in 89, I believe. And there seemed to be a flow of the Lynn family, my mom's side of the family, that all came out there. My mom, I believe my dad got a teaching job out there when he applied, as he was super close with all my mom's brothers. Helped them through a lot, through the good and the bad of my parents' relationship. And so I don't know the definitive, if there was a sole definitive reason that they moved out there, but Dad got a teaching job. Mom was on the verge of teaching, doing her student teaching. I don't know if they went anywhere before Hermiston, but I knew that they were doing some stuff in Auburn, living at Dad's house, Grandma Karen, Papa John's house.
They live there?
Yeah, in the garage for a while.
Your mom's like, we got to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, 100%. When it's raining every day and Dad is gone doing God knows what, and Mom's doing student teaching, I know it was probably a great catalyst for depression on the West Side. My mom, I mean, I even think we come to Arizona. My parents go to Arizona every damn year now. And it's not necessarily my dad going, let's get up and go to Arizona. It's my mom. And I think she just wants a week of sun.
Yeah.
But my parents came out here. The rest of my family, my mom's two of the triplet brothers moved out here. They've been teaching for 20-something years. My Uncle Brant, my mom's oldest brother.
Wait, triplet brothers?
Oh, yeah. My mom's got identical triplet brothers.
Holy crap. Identical triplet brothers.
Oh, yeah.
That's wild, man.
My grandma Aline is one. Crazy. I mean, when I tell you meet a few people in your life where you go, you can't put them in a category. These people have the definitive qualities of every type of person. That is my grandma Aline.
Is this the famous grandma that introduced you to like older music?
Oh, yes.
Like oldies, and
she would play nothing else, and I would try to tell her, like, I don't want to listen to this when I was young. And then you get to a point where you start actually appreciating the music.
This is pretty catchy. It's pretty catchy.
And when it plays 24 hours out of the day, and I spent a lot of time with my grandparents when my parents were teaching, coaching. I was over at my grandparents' house every single day of the week during the school year. You hear it enough and it starts to catch on. So a lot of old stuff like Dion and the Belmonts was kind of my go-to.
That was your go-to, huh?
Oh yeah, I love Dion and the Belmonts.
That's awesome.
The classics, Elvis Presley, Buddy Holly.
Wow, right on. I used to work at the Oldie station in Seattle.
Oh, sweet. Was that going back to 50s, or what were you?
So they mostly did. So when they first started, they started doing 50s, 60s, and early 70s. But then, they started just doing, they would dip into the 50s, because the 50s are pretty much started in 55, rock and roll music pretty much in 55. So there's like 5 years, but like some of that stuff kind of doesn't age well for like a lot of pop radio. So what they would do is they play mostly 60s and 70s. And then they even started playing 80s. I remember when I was working at the classic rock station, and this is back in 2002, the first time I think they played Pearl Jam, and my buddy and I looked at each other like, wait, are they playing Pearl Jam on the classic rock station? Because now they play that on classic rock and stuff like that, but not back then they didn't. That was very like shortly removed from
How much time does it take for something to become an oldie?
I don't know. But I mean, oldies are kind of like oldies are pretty much like 50s, 60s, and early 70s
at this point now, I
yeah.
feel like you don't even consider the 2000s oldies now, and that's 20-something years ago. But anything before that, I guess you could.
And there's so many categories of everything now. It's like, I don't know.
I'd say, once it hits the 50. Who do you say kind of dubs the beginning of rock music? Is it Chuck Berry? Is it, more
Chuck
than
Berry,
I do.
definitely. Chuck Berry and, Elvis popularized rock, but Bill Haley and the Comets.
Oh, yeah.
Buddy Holly, all those classic guys. Like Buddy Holly was awesome because, and Chuck Berry because they wrote their songs too. So like, I think that's what made the Beatles. They were like, oh man, they're like writing their songs and they're like playing them and stuff, because you have like the Elvises and, the Pat Boones and stuff like that who like, they sang the songs, but they didn't write their songs. So that was they took the kind of like the best of both worlds there.
Yeah.
So.
One of my favorite things about Chuck Berry is the Voyager that we sent out into space a long, long time ago. That's got that golden disc of humanity.
Yeah.
They've got a soundtrack, and I mean, it's everything from the sound of babies crying to what our forest sounds like. But in there is Chuck Berry's Johnny B. Good.
That's funny. Yeah. That's pretty good stuff right there. Chuck Berry from
will outlive all of humanity.
Yeah. Yeah. He lived a long time too. I almost went to see him this had to be like 2008 or something like that. And I was looking at, the concert calendar or whatever. And I was like, Chuck Berry came up, and I go, Chuck Berry's going to be in Lacey or it was like somewhere in like Olympia or something like that. And I was like, I am kind of thinking about going to see this. Like, one of the first like rock and roll guys ever in history. I was like, but I didn't end up going. But I was like, it's kind of like George Carlin. When I had the chance to see George Carlin, I didn't see it, and I was like, oh, now they're dead. Okay, oh, great.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. I was like, decades after he was, a thing
out of his prime. Yeah,
right.
Decades out of.
But he's just known for just, and I guess he was an interesting guy because he would stroll into town and then he would just ask people to like back him up. And I'm like, that would be stressful. It was just like, hey, you guys, it was just like some random band. He was like, hey, cause like if you could just take all the money yourself, then, and who doesn't want to back up Chuck Berry? So,
that has got to be your once in a lifetime to blow up and get out, but a lot of pressure on your back. Yeah. Yeah. Backing up.
Yeah.
One of the greatest musicians of all time.
Yeah, totally. No, your dad obviously has probably exposed you to hundreds and hundreds of bands.
Oh, yeah.
So now, who would you consider to be more open-minded in general, yourself or your father?
Me. Okay, I am more open-minded than my father. Now he set that path for me to be open-minded, and I'm sure I'll be the same way when I have kids where I'm going, this shit that you guys are listening to, is out of bounds. But,
he was listening to like rap and shit too back in the day and all that stuff. Like, dude, every generation is kind of like the same, I don't know.
There's new tints, new flavors. And I definitely picked up just because of modern culture at my age, especially with the influence of things like TikTok and all that stuff during the pandemic. Honestly, COVID pandemic, when things shut down, that's when my music taste just exploded because I had nothing to do except sit at home and listen to music, find new things. So that's definitely where I kind of paved the path to my own direction.
Who's your favorite band of the last few years? Like right now in 2026, who's your favorite band of the last few years?
Now it's a single
band or group.
Yeah, it's a single guy, but he uses bands in whenever he's performing and going on tour. But Tame Impala, is
I've heard you guys talk, and I think I know a couple songs. I can't remember. I couldn't name them, but I've heard them. There's a couple big hits, right?
Oh yeah, there's some stuff that you will hear forever, but he started,
and it's all over the place too. Like there's like I've heard some of the songs that I'm like, wait a minute, this is the same.
Oh, yeah.
Same artist?
And everyone thinks he's in a band too. You think Tame Impala's a band. No, it's just him, and he is gifted by God with a synthesizer. And,
where's he from?
Somewhere in Australia.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so he's Australian, but I remember hearing the first time hearing his music, it was like the Portland Alternative Rock radio back when we were driving through there. When I think my tint of music that I love is that psychedelic sound, whether it's in rock or if it's in pop or whatever it may be. The Pink Floyd's, Planet Caravan's got to be my favorite Black Sabbath song.
It's a cool song.
Yeah, there's just that kind of eerie, slow, and methodical sound is what's always caught my ear. And Tame Impala, his older albums is just hard. It's like grunge-ish, but it's psychedelic, and it is beautiful. His sound has only gotten better since then, so
that's
definitely worth checking out.
And there's how many albums?
So he started, I think, in 2008 with it's either Inner Speaker or Lonerism, and then it's gone through Currents, which was his 2016 album. So there's 3 albums there. Then he made the Slow Rush in 2020, and he just came out with his new album. I'm blanking on the name right now.
Okay.
But so I think 5 or 6 albums in total. He does a lot of production for people nowadays, though.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a genre of music that you're not into, that you're not like a huge fan of?
Contemporary country music. I mean, the country music that you hear on the radio, I don't think I can do that. I can get into some older country and some more folky stuff too. Tyler Childers, I always like his almost Appalachian sound, but guys like Morgan Wallen, they're not catching my ear.
Gotcha.
Any artist that is putting out a 30-song album once a year, you're going, this is just like a factory production at this point. It almost sounds like AI.
I mean, I was just playing some AI songs for you, and I could put together a 30-song compilation.
If you said, play this country music and give it a little bit of a rasp and a twang, I would have gone, shit, Morgan Wallen.
Man, you're not bad.
He sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you. I worked 10 minutes on it.
Yeah, I put in a 50-word prompt, and here we are.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you mentioned that you are currently attending Oregon State.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our next door neighbor growing up, he was the kicker at Oregon State.
Oh yeah,
back in the 70s or something like that. And he used to go, I hold some records there. Rick Koulos. I don't know if he still holds records. Probably not. But
I love how he announces his name.
It's me, Rick Koulos. Yeah, no, he's like our baseball coach and everything. Kind of a funny guy back in the day. But so you're not playing sports there, and your major is engineering?
Yes, mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your idea? What's the job do you have a job in mind after you graduate?
To be honest, I'm never.
Because I didn't. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to put you on the spot here.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can go any direction. What I do know is I want to work with people and I want to be speaking with people. Now, there's two different directions engineers can go. And It's kind of that isolated position. Maybe you're drafting and doing computer-aided design documents. That's not really going to be my route. And then there's one that's a little bit more into the management side and then working with people. You're kind of interacting more in teams to get your problem solving done. That is what's going to entertain me and float my boat. To be honest, I will never be the best technical engineer in the world. I'm nowhere near even probably half the people I'm in classes with, but I am pretty confident in my ability to speak.
Yeah, there you go.
Receive feedback and give feedback, give communication.
Hold lectures and,
give
tell people about it.
Information across in a way that's beneficial. And so wherever I go, that can lead me to somewhere where I'm, supervising a team or working heavily within a team. And it's a little bit more based on communication for problem solving. I will be happy and I will thrive in that environment. So
sounds awesome, man. Now, you and your father also have something in common, which is your celiac.
Yeah.
What is that for people that are not aware of what I just said?
You're not happy. No, I'm just joking. You're allergic to gluten, so no beer, nothing with wheat, rye, barley, malt. Small things that will really screw you over if you don't check the
So what happens to you if like something was cross-contaminated or you actually did eat something that you thought was, gluten-free, but you...
Yeah, I didn't. It's a strong odor and it's a long time in the bathroom.
Okay.
It is an upset stomach for a week on end. And to be
honest,
for
a week, it lasts a week.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Holy crap.
Depending on how much you're eating and how badly it's affecting.
So you really got to be careful.
You got to be careful. I mean, I'm sure.
Have you ever had to go to the hospital because of this or?
No, you usually just tank it out and you're throwing it. I used to throw up a lot when I was little. Now it's a lot more of the upset stomach and what comes out the other side.
Yeah.
But you just got to be careful. I mean, bread is probably the most evil thing you can eat as a celiac. I'm sure there's other things that slip in and I don't even realize it. I've accidentally caught myself drinking something that had malt in it one time. And it didn't necessarily put me down as bad as I was anticipating. Bread, though, I'm pretty sure would end my life. I mean, it would put me down for
bread's the number one.
Yeah. The worst part too is the fatigue. It's you go 2 weeks where you're just groggy all over the place, like tired all day long. Gets harder to form thoughts. Your productivity of life goes severely down for 2 weeks, and you don't really get the excuse of going like, oh yeah, hate gluten. People, I mean, just don't understand necessarily. So,
oh man, no, it's. I don't eat a ton of bread. Obviously, if I have a burger or something like that, I'll eat a bun or whatever. But is there something that other people eat that you're like, when you're at a party or something like that, and you're like, damn it, I wish I could have that. Oh my God, it looks so good. Or like, is there something that you always like, you can't have, you can't have, but you are kind of jealous of that?
When other people younger, there was a lot. Oreos was a big thing. And then they made gluten-free Oreos. My life got substantially better after that point. Now,
I saw those the other day. I was like, oh, I can get those for the guys that are coming over.
Because that was like, that's what you dream of. People used to bring it to lunch. It was at every party.
That is awesome.
They've made a gluten-free variant of pretty much everything. Now, the quality, questionable on what it is. It's getting better. It is. The thing I look at now as a 21-year-old boy in college is people cracking open a Modelo or a Corona.
Oh, there you go.
I want a Mexican light beer, like a Mexican lager. Oh. And those are not readily available yet for gluten-free people. So that's the only thing that really goes, oh, shit, in another life.
Now, your father, Ethan, did this come about later? Or is this something that, oh, really?
So I had this prior to him.
That is so weird.
He was out of it. And then he got all of his autoimmune diseases after mine.
Wow.
But, at least at this point, I can trace damn well where they came from.
Yeah.
It was on my dad's side. But yeah, I had diabetes when I was 1. And I got celiac disease when I was 3. And then in his 30s.
It's all fun stuff here, man. It's all awesome stuff right here. You got going on.
And I would have liked to have been 6'4" and 250 pounds too, but
you're like, whoa, oh really? You give me that? Yeah. You don't give me this? You give me that? Thank you.
He picks and chooses. So then he in his 30s got celiac disease, and then in his maybe early 40s, late 30s is when he got multiple sclerosis too, which funny enough, I don't know if he's got Wolverine's X feeling habit.
I think he does.
Because the last time he went in, they told him that he had been reversing the lesions in his spine and brain. You'll have to ask him about that.
Wow.
Maybe I'd go, well, like, what in the hell is going on there? Yeah.
That is crazy.
No, he's got quite the resilience though, but yeah, at least he's in the same boat as me. It's not like I'm the odd one out anymore. Yeah. And my mom at this point is just gone.
Yeah. She's just like, all right, well, if the boys are, if they have to eat a certain way, then I don't really care. Like that's what I always tell them, that I go, I could probably do this. It's like it's my diet, like pretty much anyways. Yeah. Chips and salsa and like, lots of Mexican food. And it's like, all right, like just eat corn tortillas and stuff.
Yeah. That's not, funny enough too. Every time, I think the celiac problem is exacerbated by the American processing of wheat products, because I've gone to different countries. I actually had a Guinness.
They always talk about Spain, how great Spain is, and the food is like so insane. Food's amazing. You can eat whatever you want, never gain any weight.
You gain no weight. You feel good too. But when I went to Ireland with my parents, because lucky enough, my dad's brought me a lot of places with the school trips as a history teacher. I had a Guinness. I was going to go, I'm not going to pass up this chance to be in Ireland.
It's going to be a long flight back.
Funny enough, I did not really hit the wall as bad as I thought I was going to with drinking a Guinness. And it makes sense though. The way that we process all of our food in the United States probably adds that extra punch to your gut anytime you consume it. Because I hear stories about people all the time that have celiac and they eat bread in different European countries, and they're not in their deathbed.
Yeah, it's like I've heard them talk about this, where they talk about, they're like, they've helped out the starving population, but they've hurt people in the same boat. We're like they can process more food and they can feed more people, but then now we're fucking people up. And everybody's biology. So that's great. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. All right. Well, so you've heard my show. You've heard my show before. I like to, if I have someone new on, I like to ask them a series of random questions. We're going to do a speed round of random questions. And you just give me, you could elaborate if you want, but I'm just going to ask you some random questions here. And then you could give me your thoughts on some of these here. Sweet. Okay. All right. So, Ryker McDonald, What is the first album that you ever purchased with your own money?
Dad was on iTunes a lot making the purchases for me, but I do remember back in 7th, 8th grade, Like Clockwork was something that I needed to have, the full thing by Queens of the Stone Age. It's the first concert he ever brought me to.
Oh, really? That's your first concert too?
Imagine Dragons was, but Queens of the Stone Age was the first time I ever went in a mosh pit.
Okay.
After that, I was sold.
They still have mosh pits? That's amazing.
Yeah, that was back in the day. My mom, I think, cried, but I had an awesome time.
Your dad used to destroy. I would watch from the outside of the mosh pit. Your dad would be just destroying people in the mosh pit or just hanging on and like punching people like with his arms and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to be that. Yeah. That's not for me. I'm going to stand back and watch that because some of these guys look pretty big and angry.
It was a lot easier going through mosh pits when he was right in front of me, protecting me or right behind me. So,
I bet. Okay. So what is the most memorable, and this is a long one for you, I'm sure, but what's the most memorable vacation that you ever took?
I think it's going to be Spain. It was one that I got to spend with my family and some of my extended family, and just how relaxing the vibes, but still anywhere you go, you're seeing something beautiful. That was awesome. Getting the chance to practice Spanish, eating great food. Anywhere that there's great food, I'm sold.
I think Ethan told me about that too. He goes, "You need to go to Spain, man. You need to go to Spain."
Oh yeah.
He's like, grab him.
Yeah. I'm like, now let me show you what I did in Spain.
I'm like, oh, what happened there? Oh God.
That's a good impression. Yeah. Right there. I love that.
Yeah. No. So that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. How about this? What is a country that you've been to that you necessarily wouldn't rush back to if you had the chance?
You know, I liked London and I liked England, but it felt like I was just in a different tint of the United States. It felt
very
like
commercial.
Commercial English. I mean, we won back in 1776, so I don't really need to go into somewhere where
the only reason I'd want to go to London is to do the Beatle tour. I always tell people
that's fair enough.
Walk Abbey Road, go see EMI Studios and
I think
stuff like that.
I could go back there to go watch some Premier League soccer.
Oh, there you go.
But in terms of the food culture, it's not the greatest in the world. Don't
they say the same thing about Ireland?
Yeah. I mean, but Ireland had so much natural beauty there, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's like Seattle. It's like lots of green. It's because raining all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it genuinely was. I know when I went and watched a concert with Hozier, who's an Irish guy, and he makes really good music. But he goes, every time I come to Portland and Seattle, I love it because it just reminds me of where I grew up in Ireland. And I go, yeah, makes sense.
I remember what's her name from Garbage, Shirley Manson, I think that was her name. Mm-hmm. And she was here in July in Arizona. She was miserable. They had the misters going on. She goes, what the fuck? And she's like, she gets pissed off a lot, like on stage, but she was like, what the fuck is that? How do you fucking like live here? Like, it's crazy. She's from like, rainy, cold,
the temperate. Yeah. That's
and then there's this YouTube video of him at Red Rocks. Have you seen? I don't know if you've seen this. It's like just freezing looking, right? Like you could see the breath, and then it's like pouring rain, and everyone's and they're like, "How do you feel about coming here to?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like I feel like I'm at home." it's like just like it is at home. Yeah. So he was fine, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah. So okay, how about this one? What is the best action movie that you've ever seen? The best action movie.
My Father is the first R-rated movie was ever shown. Probably shown way too young of an age, but it permeated my brain, and that's got to be Gladiator.
Oh, that's a good one. I remember my buddy Ryan used to watch that like every day or every other day. I'm like, I'd walk in and I go, dude, how do you not get sick of this? You're watching it every day. He's like, it's a good movie, and I'm like, it is a good movie, but good Lord, man.
Yeah. See, there's some of those movies that are action-packed, and I love the World War II movies, but it takes a little bit of a toll to rewatch that day after day. But Gladiator, I think, just how much of an impact it had.
I remember, I don't know if it was like 10 years ago or something like that, that new Mad Max one came out. I was like, holy shit. I literally walked outside, and I was like almost speechless, and my buddy's girlfriend goes, "So what'd you think?" And I go, "That might be the greatest action movie I've ever seen. That was insane."
Was that Fury Road?
I think it was.
Yeah. I remember watching that one. Was
and I saw it in the theater, and it was like, holy Jesus, like this is crazy. Yeah, so that was probably mine.
That's legit.
Okay, how about this? What is your favorite fast food restaurant? Your favorite? Now, we're talking just like out of the, the kind of like the main
chains.
Yeah, kind of like the main ones, that.
Being celiac, this is probably not my, specialty to answer in, but I will say Chick-fil-A, they got gluten-free buns. Waffle fries are hard to beat. And the amount of sauce. I'm a sauce guy. You got to have sauce on everything you eat. Yeah. And so their variety and how good the sauce is.
Do you guys have one in your
They just
area?
built one in Corvallis where I go to school.
Okay.
That's a blessing. But there's not one near us back in Hermiston.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of like it was a treat when I first tasted it. And I was like, holy shit. But it stayed a treat too.
As my buddy calls it, Christian chicken.
Yep. There you go.
Well, now, what's your least favorite? If someone was like, "Hey man, let's I'm getting food from blah blah," and you're like, "Ugh," I might pass.
There's a lot of places that genuinely I can eat nothing, and so hearing it get mentioned, any fried chicken place,
okay.
I mean, there's nothing I can eat.
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah,
so they just everything,
like,
all the batter and stuff.
Would I go? Yeah. If someone says KFC, what is in there for me besides walking in, probably inhaling the batter dust of gluten and then getting a contact high on gluten and shit myself. So.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. How about this? What is the last movie you saw in the theater?
Oh, there's definitely something before what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But I have such a heavy memory of 2023 watching Oppenheimer in the movie theater. Now, I was so in love with that movie that I went and saw it in theater 7 times.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
wow.
That's a 3-hour goddamn movie, too.
That's crazy.
I gave up a lot of my life to that.
Wow.
But people would just keep asking me, have you seen it yet? And I go,
what part do you want me to explain?
Let's go watch it again together.
Now, wasn't that the same week or couple weeks as the Barbie movie, right? Did you see the Barbie movie too?
The Barbie movie too, and I mean, it was good.
Barbenheimer, whatever they called it.
But but being the son of Ethan McDonald, I don't think it'd be hard to guess that I was fascinated by a World War II biopic, and Cillian Murphy. I love him.
Yeah.
So
I think I saw Saving Private Ryan with your. I saw a lot of movies back in the day with your dad.
Yeah, he is kind of I mean, you guys both seem like kind of film junkies, so
especially back in the day, especially like I remember Ethan would be like he would be like this. He would this is how weird and feral we were. Like he'd be like he would just sometimes he wouldn't even say why he was coming. He would be like, "Hey man, I'm coming over." So we're like, "Oh, okay, I better put on pants." So he'd come over and he'd wave me out. And go out there, and I didn't even know what we were doing. This was back in the day where you're not texting. Yeah. So he's just like, "I'm picking you up," and I go, "All right." And then I get in the car, and it was like, "What are we doing?" I don't even know what we're doing. Yeah. He's like, "We're going to see blah blah blah." We're almost to the movie theater. I don't even know what we're seeing.
I love how he didn't even give you an option. You're getting in the car.
Yeah, I'm
coming over.
Back in the day, it was just like, oh, we're just something to do, I guess. So we get in there, and I think it might have been, I don't know if it was like me, Brent, Ethan, and maybe Lee. I want to say, I don't know. I can't remember. Anyway, we're watching this movie, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, I was like, what I don't even know what this is. Like, no idea what this is. Yeah. And it was From Dusk Till Dawn, right?
Oh,
Have you seen that movie?
I have a long time ago.
So you're like, it's like 2 movies. Yeah. So you're like watching this, and you're like, and then all of a sudden it turns into a vampire movie, and you're like, holy shit, this is fucking rad. Yeah. You're like, what the hell? So that was one of my coolest movie experiences because A, didn't even know what I was going to see. Yeah. B, definitely didn't know what it was about. And then the third thing, I was like, wow, what the hell is this? It was really cool. I was like, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
You mentioned a couple concerts. What's the best concert that you've ever been to?
Ooh, that's tough. Queens of the Stone Age is always going to be up there just because of how vividly I can remember every moment being a young kid, first mosh pit. Seeing Macklemore in the Roseland it's like a 250 person venue.
Oh,
so
wow.
He's up close.
I always love those
orchestra,
small concerts. Yeah.
And he was such a big artist at the time. And so he had quite frankly, my parents' favorite album. So it was just an awesome experience, literally being 10 feet away from him.
Was that the Heist album or whatever?
It was 2017. Yeah, it's like it's got a red cover and he's holding the candle. And then recently in the October 2023, I saw Travis Scott, which is just a performer. I mean, he's got to be coked out the entire time he's doing it because he comes out there for 90 minutes and screams the entire time. Yeah. But it's just hilarious. And everybody is so up and like moving at those concerts, and the display that he has is insane. I mean, he's known for putting on a show. It was awesome going with my buddies and just seeing kind of one of those newer artists that I mean, just kind of captivates.
Super memorable.
Memorable.
Good time.
Yeah. Remember, like he gave everybody their money's worth.
That's awesome.
And because there's times, especially with rap concerts, it's like when you have someone going over the playback and like lip syncing their lyrics,
just going through the motions.
Dude, it's annoying.
I had a buddy that my buddy Jordan, he said about Ice Cube. He's like, he goes, I'm going to see Ice Cube. And I was like, dude, that sounds awesome. And then he goes, wasn't my favorite. And he was like really stoked to see it. And I was like, oh, that sucks.
I remember seeing Snoop Dogg
in
in Tri-Cities, Washington. Which why the hell would you do that? Like, clearly he had to pay his rent or something. It was like him, Bone Thugs, and Harmony. And then is it Warren G or Nate Dogg that's still alive?
That is a good question. I'm not sure.
It's the one that's still alive.
Yeah, okay.
Seeing them in a Tri-Cities concert, and besides someone's vape cloud in front of me where I couldn't see anything for the entire concert, I'm just like, I can't even, these guys aren't even singing over their own lyrics. They're singing, one sentence out of 6. And so it gets tough. But when you find someone who is willing to go that extra mile, he was doing like 3 concerts a week too. You got to do a lot of drugs to keep up that lifestyle. That's all I got to say.
Okay, how about this? Is Michael Jordan the greatest basketball player of all time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And people will say LeBron James. Sure. When you play that long and that consistently, I think you deserve points.
Certainly a freak of nature. I mean, he's like nature. He still looks like he does. Like when he was like,
I think
coming in.
I've started hearing people reword this argument, going, LeBron James is the most athletic basketball player in NBA history.
Absolutely.
The most, longevity, all these things. I think Michael Jordan, though, is the best basketball player. I mean, he won consistently with staying at one place, kind of shaping that team. After watching that documentary, maybe I'll change my mind when a LeBron James documentary comes out.
Right.
But I think, too, there's nobody that really dominated Jordan in the Jordan era, but with LeBron James, I mean, Curry has won more championships, or the same amount of championships, and has pretty much dominated him in his own era.
I mean, he's got to be the greatest shooter of all time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, he's insane.
My hot take, and my dad wants to argue about Magic Johnson all the time, and I'll make this argument, but I think Steph Curry is in the top 10 of all time because he is a freak of nature, and his longevity as well has been something of a spectacle.
Yeah.
But when you're having that conversation of who's the best player in this current era, and you're not even making it out of that argument, then how can you go up and say you're better than Michael Jordan? And you're missing 2 championships. So
there you go. All right. Okay. So everybody has one, and you may have several. And Lord knows I have a couple. What is your biggest pet peeve?
People that smell bad. And
it's bad hygiene.
Bad hygiene.
Yeah.
I have way too strong of an olfactory sense. And if it's a bad smell, I mean, that's the difference between me finding, like, if a girl smells bad, that's the difference between maybe my future wife and somebody that I hold in disregard for the rest of my life. Same with guys. I mean, because guys can smell a lot worse than women can.
Yeah.
And if you're hitting the deep waters of personal hygiene as a man, I don't know anybody who wants to be around you
Boy, if I could take you back in time to that house that all the football players lived in back when your father was dating your mom.
Yeah.
You walk in, you're like, oh wow, what's going on in here? And like, and I'd look into so when you walk in, you could take so there's the living room, and then you could take a right, and then there's the bathroom right down there, and then to the right was the room that your dad and Rob slept in, and we're talking two, like, I don't know if it was like just regular like single mattresses, but they were just like on there and like with no sheet, just a mattress, like just both of them on the ground. And I was like,
oh God,
what are you guys doing in here, man? I know you're in high school or college, but it's like, what's going on in here? It's like
big guys,
two huge guys. And then there was Lee, and then there was Josh. So it was like a house full of just dudes. And it was like some interesting smells coming in there.
Imagine.
So
you know what? I'll give some benefit of the doubt to areas where multiple people are occupying. You know, sometimes if it's the individual though, no excuses at all. But I mean, living in a frat house for 2 years of my life,
right?
I mean, there wasn't a time that I didn't walk in and smell like stale beer and.
Oh yeah, the downstairs, they had this kegerator downstairs, and they had this it was like a bar downstairs that they created, and I was like, oh yeah, this just smelled like a bar just spilt beer, and
that's the entire house is
that's different. That's
stale
different.
Beer and disappointing
it
coitus.
Should smell like that.
Smells.
Should smell like that.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? You walk into a gas station to grab a snack.
Okay.
What are you grabbing? What's your go-to?
Always going for the Polar Pop, whatever, the fountain drink, get myself. And it kind of depends on where it's at, because sometimes I'm a Diet Mountain Dew and a little voltage on top. Sometimes it's a Pepsi, a Diet Pepsi with a little Pepsi on top. Then always getting a bag of chips.
Okay.
I think Ruffles, sour cream, and cheddar since I've been little.
Okay.
Has been my go-to.
Perfect.
This has been locked. Yeah.
Right on.
It's locked and finished. And I can get through any drive with that.
Oh, fantastic. All right. What's your favorite cartoon of all time?
I'm going to go Tom and Jerry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Once again, spending enough time at my grandparents' house, it was just on. They wouldn't let me watch Power Rangers. And I remember that really angering me as a small child. But once I got settled in with Tom and Jerry, there's just, I mean, it's so stimulating, but nobody's talking.
Yeah.
The music, the soundtrack behind it's very, I don't know. It calmed me, and it's something I'll still watch here and there if I'm
it's good stuff.
Way too amped up and I need to settle down. I was a Jerry over a Tom guy though. I don't know about you.
Oh, okay. Wait, so there's Tom.
Tom's the cat.
Tom's the cat.
Jerry's the mouse.
Jerry's the mouse. So you were rooting for the cat?
No.
The mouse.
I was rooting Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry
okay.
all the time.
Okay. Well, that's like the Roadrunner. Who are you rooting for? Isn't everybody kind of rooting for the?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Unless you're an asshole.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Let piggyback on that then. Cats or dogs? Cats or dogs?
Cats.
100%.
I think.
Is it because they're cleaner? Just naturally cleaner?
You can leave the house and you don't really got to think about a cat too much.
That's true. They're just like they can do their own thing
themselves, and they're not always begging for attention, because sometimes I don't want to give attention. You got your own thing going on while you're at your house.
You're on their terms.
Oh yeah,
you are on their terms. If they want to give you attention, they'll give you attention.
Oh yeah.
But it is funny how they always talk about the difference of cats and dogs. It's like girls and guys. It really is. They are so different, right?
Oh,
they are completely different. Like what's the old joke? Like, you can, I don't want to tell that joke, but anyway, like if when you open up a door, or you get home, cat will greet you and stuff like that, but a dog will fucking jump on you, like jump up on you and stuff. He's like, oh my god, I'm so glad to see you. It's like the greatest thing ever, it's just so different, but
100%.
But dogs, you have to you really have to. You have to clean the dog.
Dude, I don't want to clean dog shit. I'll be honest. That does not sound like my type of fun.
Yeah, it is definitely a different personality kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't want to go for a walk and bring those green bags out there and pull the warm sack of shit.
Okay, I got a few more of these. All right. Okay. Who is your favorite? Now, I don't know if you already mentioned this. You mentioned your favorite band of maybe the last 5 years or something like that. Who's your favorite band of all time? All time.
I might go Queens of the Stone Age all time. So many memories just from youth of that seems to be right what my dad was picking up on by the time I was starting to listen to music and be in the back of the car.
Yeah.
A lot of pictures of me going on the back of my car, rocking out to whatever he had on. As I've started to venture into my own world of music, especially since getting to college and hearing something new every day, picking up a lot on the Eagles.
Okay.
That seems to be playing in our house day in, day out. This past year, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think my most listened to artist this upcoming year is going to be Jimi Hendrix.
Okay.
There's something about that sound that recently is just like, what have I been doing my entire life, and why have I not been listening to every single Jimi Hendrix song? So
Jimi Hendrix is crazy too, because like, I always talk about, I've done episodes with your father about, like, what is the greatest album of 1966 or whatever.
Yeah.
And it just shows you like, boy, man, if you're really listening to some of these albums, like next to some of the other albums that came out during these eras, like 65, 66, 67, boy, wow. Like I think that is the best way to try to explain to people the genius of some of these bands. Jimi Hendrix is certainly one of them, like miles ahead of like other bands. Like it's crazy. Cause like, you're like, holy shit, this Jimi Hendrix, this came out this album right here, this came out the same year as Happy Together by the Turtles, which is a great song. It's a great song, but it's like, they're wildly different. They're wildly different. Like that's like essentially like, some hard rock, like compared to that. And like, that's one of the few like records that would be played on like a classic rock station along with, modern bands, or bands that came out 20 years after that. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's the thing too, is like bands that they can do different vibes, different ideas and still make it their own sound. Some of the stuff just listening and going through, it might have been this album where I'm going, he can slow this down and draw this out and make this sound almost like a completely different genre, and then he can speed it up and it still sounds so authentic, and it's still something I can play every single day. Bands that can do that, I think, are those ones where it's like, you're going to be listening to them 30, 40 years from now.
And he was one of those guys that like, he was like a wizard in the studio too. So it was crazy. Yeah. And it was only around for like, 3 years? Like, it's crazy. Okay. What is if you had to choose, what's the greatest superhero of all time, or your favorite?
Growing up, I would have said Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire, just nothing that I wanted to be.
There's been like how many different Spider-Mans have there been? Like three?
Three.
Okay.
Three, at least in this.
Is he the best one in your opinion?
Yeah.
And
because
he kind of fits the story the best. Like, it's like he looks like a kid. He's like, it's like 35 years old. He looks like a kid. And I was like, check what?
Nerd. And ends up, and those movies. I think it's definitely a nostalgic piece to me. So that's why it holds so high in my heart. I think all three of them were good. And I mean, to say that I didn't tear up in the No Way Home when all three of them come out, well, dude, I was all over the place. But as of recent, I love Ryan Reynolds and I love Deadpool.
Oh, Deadpool,
You need to have someone who's a little bit of an asshole.
Right.
Kind of great at breaking that fourth wall.
If you were to be a superhero, you'd be like, all right, like I have all this power. Like I'd be kind of like a smart ass dickhead.
Exactly.
Like,
I was gonna say, if you gave Ethan McDonald the ability to fly, do you think he's getting any nicer?
Jesus. Oh, God.
Heck no.
Oh, God.
Who would you say yours is?
I mean, I'd watch that. Well, I always I think it's like who you grew up with. Like you said, Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, when I was a little kid, Superman was like the shit. Like there was so before the Batman movie came out, Superman was the first movie to, they made it kind of like a semi-serious, still kind of hokey, but it was like the first time, because like, before that it was like, Batman, like the TV, everything's kind of cheesy. And then they made that movie, the first Superman movie, and it was like the poster says, "You will believe a man can fly." And it's like when you saw that in the theater, you're like, holy shit. I mean, I didn't see that in the theater. I think I saw the second one, but it's crazy because that really did change movies. And then the Batman movie blew everything out of the water. And then they started making, movies after that. Tons. They're like, oh, we can make $1 billion every time we put on a superhero movie. Let's put one out every, few months. So now it's all superhero movies. But like those two, especially the Superman and Batman. So like, I mean, I grew up when I was a little kid. I was like, I want to fly like that. I want to be Superman. Like, and he was like, it's kind of like not fair. Like, oh, okay. Superman, like, essentially is like, how can you beat Superman? Like, you can't beat Superman. So it's like, okay, in one sense, it's like, it's awesome. It's like one of the best ones you could be, but it's like, okay, but like, I don't know. You can't beat Superman. Like, Batman, people are like, Batman versus Superman. I'm like, Batman? Batman's just like some millionaire that like created a suit and like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not even a context.
Gadgets. He doesn't have laser beams.
Yeah, like unless he has kryptonite, which I don't even know how these guys get. How do you get kryptonite?
Isn't it on a different planet?
Yeah, I don't know how these guys get a hold. And how do you even know? How do you know that you can destroy a guy with
universe?
It's a rock that's probably sitting in someone's house. Whatever. Okay. Okay. This is an interesting one because everyone has one of these.
Okay.
Except my grandfather. He never had one until he actually died. Okay. Have you ever had a near-death experience?
I don't know where I was at in the death line, but I've had a few times where your blood sugars get so out of whack. When your blood sugar goes low, if you don't fix that right away, you're moments away from probably at least going into a coma and then figuring it out from there. So I had a few seizures while I was young.
So is that what happens if you have a massive seizure if you don't?
Blood sugar goes so low, it hits kind of a point of no return unless you've got special kind of glucose or you stick a glucagon needle, which is just, I forget how it's different than regular sugar. It opens up the plasma in your cells basically to get sugar or to allow sugar to come in. Had a seizure. I can remember this so vividly too, because I was like 6, and you know how your brain almost picks and chooses memories from your childhood to remember. This was one of them.
Same when you're drunk, when you're older. Yes.
I remember my grandma putting me down for a nap because my blood sugar was low. So I was, you act tired, you act fatigued, and she didn't know that my blood sugar was low. And I remember I used to sleep in a cardboard box of a TV at my grandma's. My grandma has 7 bedrooms in her house, by the way. So this is frankly bullshit. But,
oh man, that's terrible.
Laid down in this little cardboard box. There was blankets and a pillow in there, and though. Remember,
you're like a cat. You're like a cat.
Yeah,
you like boxes.
My little dog bed. Yeah, my little cat bed. And I remember just staring up at the ceiling, and my cousin Sydney was over there, and my grandma offered my cousin Sydney a cookie, and I remember being like, how dare you, Grandma, put me down to bed and then offer cookies? Wow. Like, what kind of injustice is this? I'm going to get up, and then seizure time. And I fell back to the floor.
Oh, man.
And I started hallucinating, seeing spiders come out of the ceiling and started dropping down. It was
This is where the psychedelic love for music comes in,
maybe.
right?
I mean, that might be, because I just remember hearing and seeing the way things were moving.
Crazy,
and I remember then kind of
did they take you to the hospital
out, and I don't genuinely remember that. That's a question for my mom. I remember my mother being there and giving me a lot of sugar, but it's like you don't really know how you're acting during a seizure.
Is that what you're supposed to? It's like you're supposed to take sugar.
Yeah, it's like a special shot sugar. You got to really kind of maintain, and you got to send the simplest carbohydrates into your body, the most sugar packed stuff.
So you grew up completely fine with needles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Probably laugh at people like, you're afraid of needles? What a puss. I mean, that's so like when I was like 3 years old.
Yeah, I've been doing this. Yeah. Well, every time I go into the doctor's office, they treat me like a lab rat, like I've got something going on because I was, 9 vials of blood coming out. I'm like, what the hell do you need this for?
Dang.
Your Hollywood ring that you're selling this to. So.
All right. How about this one? Does pineapple belong on pizza?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, this guy, there's like, there's sugar in pineapple.
You got to have an open mind. Now, it depends on what else you're accompanying it with. But, dude, pineapple belongs on pizza.
I have people that, like, almost have punched me when I've asked this question. Like,
God,
like
they're even give your own answer.
They're so, like, offended by me just asking that question.
What's your opinion on this?
I'm fine with it. I mean, I haven't ordered it like in a long time.
No, it's not my first order, but
yeah, I'd eat it.
Who actually does order that kind of off rip? That's not. I don't know anybody that has that as their first choice.
Right? No, that's a different question.
So if it sneaks in there, and this is where the whole argument gets started.
Well, I'm also kind of like one of those guys like when the office, we used to have office pizza party, guys, hey? Yeah. And then there would be like, the 4 boxes that are left of like all the pizzas, cheese. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, okay, I'll eat cheese. I mean, I guess I'll have cheese, but it's like, it's everyone's last choice. No one's having the cheese like as their first choice unless they're a child. Like,
why order it? It takes 25 seconds to throw 15 pepperoni on top of it.
Because they don't want to offend people. I don't know. I don't know. They want to, whatever. But I don't see them ordering anchovies. They're like, what about the anchovy guy? Then I don't order pizza for that guy? Okay. Favorite video game of all time?
Call of Duty, Black Ops 2.
Whoa, very specific. Very specific.
It was right after I got taught to play Call of Duty. Now, I wasn't allowed to play it for the longest time. 3rd grade, I wanted to go to my buddy's Halloween party. And it was kind of a sketchy situation, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
And my parents were like, Ryker, you are not going. You are not going to this party. And so I go ballistic. I mean, I am crying.
You're throwing shit?
Throwing shit. I'm probably showing them the backpack and saying, I'm moving out.
Yeah, right.
This is fucking it.
Wait, how old are we talking here?
So 3rd grade, I'm probably...
Oh, it's 3rd grade. Okay.
8,
okay.
9. Yeah. Okay. This was 18, by the way.
I was like, what?
This was actually 2 weeks before he came up here. So, and finally, my dad's like, hey, I need you to shut up. Like, you are causing me a lot of problems. And so he goes, if you will just stop crying and shut your mouth, I will teach you how to play Call of Duty. And it's like a binky in my mouth. I am ready to go.
Yeah.
So he taught me. And that first game was Black Ops 1. A year or 2 after that, Black Ops 2 comes out. And so this is the height of my stimulation.
Yeah.
And this is back when you used to get humbled in those old Modern Warfare Call of Duty lobbies where everyone would have an open mic. And, so I learned a lot in that game. I learned, how to take shit and dish it out.
Is this one of those games where you could play with everybody on the planet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And it's open.
Yeah.
It's like, you get killed and you are getting called every horrendous thing that exists in the dictionary.
Yeah, it's like racist assholes.
Oh, yeah. It's like 100%, It's a bunch of 35-year-olds that are, they have nothing better to do except yell at little kids. So, but dude, when I tell you, it teaches you.
I bet
it's street smarts right there.
That is funny.
How to survive. So, all my buddies had that game at that point too.
That's awesome.
So I just said, that a close number 2 is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Ooh, okay. You can do some fucked up shit in there too.
Oh, you can do some fucked up shit. The pandemic, I think, alone too, when you've got a year and a half of doing nothing, my buddies and I would get on and play. I'm not joking you, 5 hours a day.
I bet.
But it was, you have so much fucked up shit to do in that game that you don't run out. You've got something to keep you busy almost all the time. So
that's awesome.
That's a close number 2.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, 2 more questions. 2 more. Sweet. 2 more. What is your favorite? Yeah, I think you can. Yeah, you could eat some of these, right? What's your favorite cereal?
Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
I like the marshmallows.
Okay. All right. Okay, and then the last question. This is a very important one.
All right.
It's a very important one. Take your time.
Okay.
Or not, unless you've thought about this before. If you could bring back one rock star back from the dead, who would it be? This
is going to take me some time.
I was like, I really have thought about this over the years, and I've really analyzed this. And just to not to insert my own.
No, but I want to hear yours.
No, but so basically, I always think about this. Like people always think about like, well, that's my favorite rock star or that's my favorite singer of all time, and I'm like, someone go, well, Prince, and I'm like, now are we bringing them back in their prime? Or are we bringing them back when they die?
When they die.
Because I'm like, I mean, Prince, I love Prince, but it's like, was I listening to Prince for the last 10 years of his life? No.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson, like when was the last fucking Michael Jackson?
Had some weird things going on.
Maybe like back in the early 90s, like if he died in like 1992 or something like that, I'd be like, yeah, bring back my shit. No, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's even some of my favorite artists of all time, like, you know, like Tom Petty, I was devastated. Chris Cornell, devastated.
Yeah.
Devastated. But, like, I don't know. Like, there's really no wrong or right answer. I'm just saying, like, hey, maybe they could have come back with a great album. And, you know what I mean? But that's what I always struggle with. I always struggle with, like, well, wait, are we bringing them back, like, in their prime? Because, like, that doesn't kind of really make sense. But when they died, and they could have put out some more classic shit.
Yeah, that could have really gone.
Because like Cornell, to me, like, God, he was just getting like his voice. I don't know how, but it seemed to be getting better and better to me. I'm like, oh God, it like, makes me like sick. Like when he died. But
Cornell's definitely up there. I almost think. I'm trying to think of maybe two names. One from kind of a generation before me, and then maybe one in my generation.
Okay.
Because for my generation before me, it would have been really interesting to see what Tupac could have become with like his brand and what he was trying to do. Because I think, and I mean, it could have also been heavily the fact that he died is why his name is now so famous and popular.
Right.
But I mean, he was gaining a lot of attention. And he was trying to do some.
I think he's still putting out albums
from his little place where he's actually been hiding after the accident.
It's crazy,
but he was doing a lot of good things as well in that kind of community, and had like some good messages from what at least I read as a 21-year-old.
There's a new book out. Jeff Pearlman just put out a book about Tupac.
Interesting.
Yeah, he spent a couple of years doing it.
Interesting. What was it about? Was he?
It's about his like life.
Okay. Yeah.
And he interviewed. I don't know what he said, like 200 people, something crazy. Like, yeah. So
I mean, definitely like everybody's got their troubles, but it would have been interesting to see where he could have moved maybe that West Coast movement. He had better messages than I'd say maybe most in terms of what was coming out from the West Coast and the rap scene at that time.
Yeah.
My generation, I'm trying to remember who's died and who is worth like ever bringing back. Cause there's been
no Jimmy from back in the day.
Oh yeah, because is Jimmy part of that 27 club?
Yeah, yep. Jimi Hendrix and Kurt Cobain and
what did Jimi Hendrix die from?
I think Jimi Hendrix, is he one of the ones that choked on his own vomit? I think from drugs. He was like,
God, okay.
And then there was like a Bon Scott of AC/DC who got like just massively hammered and like passed out in his car and then like just died. Jimi Hendrix would definitely be up there. For some reason, I was thinking about Ozzy Osbourne, but then I was going, he's lived way too much life. He's got Ozzy. No, he's gotten away with so much Ozzy should have died like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like he had bonus years, massive bonus years.
I remember, I think it might have been like a Guinness World Record or a Ripley's Believe It or Not book or whatever, but I remember seeing it when I was young. His ability to digest and metabolize alcohol was at a rate and such that the amount of alcohol he would drink in a single night could kill, I think, something about 11 humans.
Well, that's like who is this? Who is this?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy. That's kind of like John Bonham. I have this book. I don't know which one it is. It's one of these books. One of these books, like it says, cause of death. And it's like, John Bonham, 40 shots of vodka. And I'm like, 40 shots of vodka? What was he, like an elephant? Like, what is this?
Well,
holy
for what
Jesus!
Fucking reason do you need 40 shots of vodka?
But then you have like those guys. Like this could be another interesting one, right? Where you like have the drummers, like John Bonham and Keith Moon of the Who. They were crazy, but like basically the bands couldn't really go on without that. That's how good they were, right? It's like Led Zeppelin's like, well, that's it, we're done.
Yeah.
So it's like we can't continue without him.
There, yeah.
And then same kind of, I think the Who, they kind of tried. They put out like an album or two, and then like
just don't get the same sound.
It's not working.
There's so many. There's probably some that I'm missing, but I mean, Hendrix is a good one. Tupac Shakur would have been. I don't know if there's anybody.
Those guys that died young, man. Like you know, like, and they had so much more shit to do.
Yeah, and you just
the one that always like pains me a lot. Obviously, I'm a big Beatles guy, but John Lennon.
Yeah.
He released this album, which was so good. Well, his songs were good, not Yoko's songs, but his songs were so good. And it was like, oh man, fuck, he's back. He took 5 years off. He's back. He's finally back. Boom, 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 boom. Dead. You're like, oh, I guess that's over. And then the reunion of the Beatles, that's dead too.
So here's a question for you. If you could have gotten, let's say, in their pinnacle, in the top of their prime, any band or just an individual music artist, 3 more years of the band, maybe say 3 more albums out of any band of all time, what band are you wanting 3 more albums from?
Wow. That's a good question.
And it might be one you got to think about as well.
Yeah, it definitely, I have to think about it. But you know what? I would definitely, and who knows, he might have been tapped out, but hey, you never know, because you have Dave Grohl and Kurt Cobain in Nirvana.
Yeah.
Maybe Kurt would have said, hey man, you want to like write some songs together or something like that? You know, like, and Dave Grohl clearly had songs, you know, that he was having, you know, written for the Foo Fighters album.
It would have been interesting to see how that sound would have changed over the course of, you know, another 5-6 years.
Yeah. Do they become a happy band after this? Like, you know, it's all dark shit. And you're like, oh, it's like it's all aggressive. It's like very aggressively, you know. I don't know. Who knows? But then it's like one of those things that you don't have the Foo Fighters, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
You don't have the Foo Fighters.
Butterflies, and he went something beautiful.
He went the complete other direction, you know, with the Foo Fighters, you know. So
because shit, dude, you're probably getting depressed yourself making music like that for that long.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to like. That's what I love Nirvana, but I've got about a 10-song cap before I got to switch the mood. Otherwise, my day goes in a different direction.
Dude, I remember the day he died too. It was like it's like a classic, you know. Just it's all dark and gloomy and very Seattle, you know, raining and you know they're like, and here behind us is where his body was found. And it's just like he's just like raining. Like, it's like, oh god, well, I could see why this happened.
Fitting,
yeah. So.
Oh, Lord.
But anyway, is there anything else that you'd like to add? It was awesome having you on.
Oh, this was an awesome experience. Thanks for having me on. It was cool kind of seeing how this all works now behind the scenes. And I'm bought in. I love this
Fantastic.
is exciting. Yeah.
Fucking love it. Well, I hope your time in college is successful. I'm sure it will be. Yeah. And you know, don't go to any too crazy parties where anything crazy stuff's going down.
That's
or maybe you should. Maybe you should.
Yeah. Well, we went down to downtown Phoenix. My dad was saying he saw it on the news this morning. The same night that we went out, someone got shot outside of a bar.
Really?
Yeah,
last night?
Not last night.
A couple nights ago.
A couple nights ago.
Oh, really?
We went out there and going.
Yeah.
Shit.
You never know, man.
Luckily,
like I know.
we're in the right spot at the right time. There was definitely some bars too that we went to. And I was like, this is not my vibe. And these people. You guys went down to in Tempe? Or last night
where'd you guys go?
We went to Gilbert last night.
Oh, okay.
It was like 2 bars, and it was. I mean, it's a Monday night, so
Gilbert's pretty new.
Home, and I showed my buddy Fran Good Will Hunting, and he loved that. So it ended up being a good time. Yeah.
I saw that in the theater with your dad.
Did he cry?
We thought it was a great movie. We were like, went to go see About a Girl, or you know, whatever.
Yeah,
it's a really good movie, and that's it. I was because you know we love Robin Williams and everything, but I was like, this might be the best Robin Williams movie. Like it's like so good. Yeah. But
did you ever watch the? Is it called The Kingfisher with Robin Williams?
Oh, The Fisher King.
Or The Fisher King. Yeah.
I vaguely remember it, but yes, I've seen it.
Yeah. Funny enough, one of my buddies one time when he was trying to leave. He'd promised us for 2 weekends in a row he'd go out with the bars to us, and he tried pulling that same bullshit where he like slides us a note saying, I'm gonna go see about a girl. And then another one of our buddies just fucking ran across the table and gave him a good smack across his face. And then he ended up coming out with us.
Oh my God.
Didn't work out. Wasn't as romantic as he may have imagined, but.
Well, Ryker, I got a number.
How do you like them apples?
How you like them apples? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever done that to somebody at a?
No. No.
Are you the guy? Are you the smart ass like too good like guy that goes to college? Or are you Goodwill?
Well, I'm definitely not Will Hunting smart, and I'm. But
so you're the asshole. You're the pretentious asshole.
I don't think I'm the pretentious asshole. I think I'm more like Casey Affleck. Just the little shit in the corner.
Yeah. And then I'm Ben Affleck in that movie. That's great. That's great. I'm the fucking stupid construction worker. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
I'm the Casey Affleck looking for a job still. They were restructuring.
All right. Okay, man. Well, hey,
thank you again for having me.
Awesome having you on. Tell your dad I said hi.
I will.
And yeah. Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
For Ryker McDonald, I'm Josh, and as always, thank you for being a friend.